getting the digital enablement for the business. And this playbook, there's no definition, but what I've learned in my experiences has three pillars which are vertical and one which is horizontal. The vertical one's been understanding the business. And when I say business, it's the boardroom or the CXO's discussion. When you talk of digital enablement, you don't talk of cloud or Kubernetes and all those stuff. What you talk of is the ROIs that it's going to bring.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining us. You're watching the mainstream. I am Simran Shiwalkar, your host for today, and today I am joined by Mr. Nitin Dhingra. Firstly, Nitin, thank you so much for joining us today and being a part of the series.
Thanks, Simran. It's quite a pleasure. Looking forward. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, to begin with, Nitin Dhingra is the Group Chief Technology Officer and Executive Vice President at Indira IVF, where he leads the technology vision for one of the India's largest fertility networks. With over 20 years of experience across diverse sectors, he has built a career around one simple idea, which is technology should make life easier, clearer, and more human for the people who depend on it. At Indira IVF, he brings this philosophy into a space where every digital decision ultimately touches someone's hope, someone's family, and someone's future. I'm truly excited to take this conversation with him, understand his vision, his perspectives, and also get some incredible insights around tech. Well, without any further ado, let's begin. Nathan, firstly, once again, thank you so much for joining us. And like I said, you have worked across different kinds of industries before arriving in healthcare. When you look back, what is one experience, from your earlier chapters that quietly has shaped the way you lead today as a leader?
Yeah, Simran, quite an interesting question because I've worked in a B2B2C segment in automotive where the trajectory is that you are connected to the customer, but via the dealers in between or the retail channel in between. Then there was in a B2B segment primarily where the end customers are not very much connected in your ecosystem.
Right.
Now it is B2C. It has been quite a journey, though there were different functional aspects. One which has been common all across, and that has been the learning, like you also mentioned in the question, is that playbook of getting the digital enablement for the business. And this playbook, there's no definition, but what I've learned in my experiences has three pillars which are vertical and one which is horizontal. The vertical one's been understanding the business. And when I say business, it's the boardroom or the CXO's discussion. When you talk of digital enablement, you don't talk of cloud or Kubernetes and all those stuff. What you talk of is the ROIs that it's going to bring or the risk that you carry in doing it, how to mitigate those risks, how to roll back the application if it is not performing as per your own expectations, and what are the compliances that you can. So basically the business thing. The second is understanding the function. Let's say if I'm talking to a 6 person, then I'll say the dealership executive. When I'm talking to a research and development person, I'll talk of the product development life cycle, the 7 or 8 stages in which the entire PDX process is distributed. Or when I'm talking of a marketeer, I would talk of the customer acquisition cost. So basically the function understanding and the playbook of that particular function, a digital transformation or IT person should understand according to me. And the third element is the technology. And when I say third is technology, I actually mean it's third in the ladder as well. It's the business first, then function understanding, and then the technology. All of it will be a disaster if there is no PR involved in it. PR is your relationship with the people. So to me, this is the biggest learning that I got. And this mantra, if you say, or formula, if you say, has helped me work in all the domains equally well, to have that three pillars of business understanding, function, and technology, and have that personal or public relationship with the as a horizontal across all the verticals. This has been my biggest learning, I would say.
Thank you so much for answering that, Nitin. And again, coming back to the industry's point of view, healthcare, especially when we talk about IVF or something similar, which is quite intimate and emotionally charged domain as well. When you stepped into this space, what is something that has genuinely surprised surprised you, or perhaps changed your perspective, shifted your perspective as a leader in tech, I must say?
Couple of things, not in any particular order. The first, the compassionate and the emotions or the empathy healthcare carries towards its customer, and at times it is more from being solving the problems of the customers. Like for us, when they come, they are trying to achieve the dream of parenthood, so a lot of emotions goes through their life.
Correct.
As well, and our people are very empathetic towards that thing. It is more than any other industry that I have seen before. So even though we are talking of healthcare, we are talking of health tech and all those things, but still the human element, the human touch, the compassion, that was overwhelming for me to see. And secondly, how much even a non-glorified industry in terms of technology like a healthcare, still how much it is similar to the other tech industries. Like we talk of go-to-market strategies, similar in passion, like we talk in my previous companies or the ones I know of industries. Or when we talk of cyber securities, probably it's more pertinent here than any other industry that you can think of. Maybe banking and finance sector could be similar to us. And there are RPAs to remove the operational inefficiencies in the system. So how similar this industry is or can be compared to other industries was the second biggest learning that I had. The first and the foremost, definitely, like I said, on the empathy part was always there. So I think these are two striking things that I felt.
Once again, thank you so much, Nitin. And along these lines, I'm sure when we talk about industry domains or sectors like healthcare, every patient walks into institutions like this with some hope, some fear, some kind of emotions, or a narrative or a story, perhaps. How do you think about technology in a way, kind of supports these human moments, not just the operational ones?
For this, I would say it is similar. Like I said, playbook, what I said, let's go back to that business function, technology part. Now, here also, you have to get into the shoes of a customer. Why are they coming to your digital environments, let's say your website or a Facebook or, on a call center? Why are they coming? Is to solve their FAQs or solve something which they otherwise could not do. And let's take an example of a success through IVF. It's a very confusing thing to them when they are taking their call of getting the IVF treatment. What would be my chances of getting pregnant for a lady, or what would be my chances of getting pregnant if I go with IVF? And within IVF, is it one cycle, two cycle, or a three cycle journey that I have to undergo? Now, they would want a lot of mathematics in it, that this is your percentage chances through IVF, and within IVF, this is 1, 2, 3.
Right.
Just believe me, in absence of this, people get so much confused that their decision of IVF is also delayed by years, because X doctor would say something, Y YouTube reference would say something, Z would say something. So for them to have more clarity on this subject, there are tools which we created, and it's there on our website, by which you can put all your reports, which could be from anywhere in the world, and see the chances of success through IVF. Now, this is a problem which is giving that direct solution to, this is an answer which is giving a direct solution to a problem which the customers would have. Similar in nature, whatever we could provide to our customers which solves their problem is the umbrella in which we see all the digital initiatives coming. And these customers could be internal customers as well, whether it is a finance department or it is HR department. So whenever we give them the solution, we see whether this solves any business problem or not. And whenever it is an external, then again what we see is whether in their journey is this kind of thing needed, or like you briefly said, it's a tick in the box. If it's a tick in the box, then trust me, we have enough on our plate. We don't go with those things. It genuinely has to solve a problem, and that is where the technology comes in. It is immaterial whether this gets solved by generative AI or it's just a simple .NET based programming that we have to do. It should solve the problem. Technology would, I think, fit it in easily.
Absolutely. And shifting gears, Nitin, there is a lot of talk on AI. We spoke about Gen AI as well. Automation and data tools, in any sector, for that matter, you've also worked across diverse sectors. We talk about, impact around technology these days. How do you personally decide as a CTO, as a leader, which innovations are meaningful, which need to be prioritized, and which are just noise?
So there are two dimensions to it. One definitely is to understand what all is the need of the hour for us. And for this, we do a lot of discussion with the CXOs and then understand that is it the patient experience that is which needs upgrade, or it is the internal operations that need this thing changeover. So that would give us enough high impact areas. Let's say that high is the y-axis for me, and then the x-axis is the technology, and let's divide that y-axis into low impact, high impact, and the x-axis into low, less mature technology and more mature technology. Now the sweet spot for me would be something which is high in impact and something for which technology is also highly recommended or easily available. So that is the zone in which we will operate. Now things like patient anxiety. So today a patient may be having an anxiety about IVF. If there are tools which can solve this in the digital world, they can do something on the chatbot or virtual call or whatever. If there are tools to solve that part, is a high impact area for us. Similarly, when we talk finance teams, then a lot of operational work their teams are doing which are repeated in nature. So is RPA or any other agentic AI capable to solve that? Would be a priority list for us, because these tools are mature, getting mature, and they would have high impact.
Right.
So similarly, when we talk to our clinical teams, then is there anything which we can do using machine learning to optimize the dose that we are giving? Then definitely it becomes a high impact and a technologically available solution to us. So for us, it's a matrix of two things. One is the impact, second is the technology. Now technology is something which as a CTO I would own. For this, the double click would be the benchmarking that we do. A lot of discussions with some of our partners, which are the premium ones in the technology field worldwide, and understand how technology is maturing, benchmark that, then see whether in our context, whether such things would be possible or not. I gave you an example of IVF success calculator. So it would have, let's say, a generative AI element at the back end. Before introducing Gen AI in that, we did benchmark what are the capabilities of generative AI and other stuff. And then similarly, benchmarking these technologies do help us take a call whether we'll be implementing the solutions which are of high impact, or probably refrain now and waiting for the right time to come. So this is the entire thought process which goes behind selection of the areas and the technologies as well.
And coming back to, the evolving role of CTO, I'm sure you must have seen the shift firsthand, what it was, the landscape which was 5 years ago compared to what it is now. We are way past beyond buzzwords. What do you believe will matter the most? What should be the top priorities for CTOs perhaps, and, something that needs to be seen as a challenge as well?
The biggest thing that I feel now, what is expected is more than the anecdote stories, it's the evidence what the CTOs, CIOs, or CDOs, whatever you call them, would need to reproduce. When I say this, I mean those POCs, those pilots, and all, whatever have been done in the past now need to give you the results, benefit realization as well to the business, whether it is your top end growth or it is the bottom customer experience. You need to have a success story now which needs to be demonstrated, because the technology, those POC eras and all those things are now story of the past. What we need to now do is deliver the solutions which would have the business benefits and demonstrated, documented business benefits. So that is one feel the CTOs should be geared up to go hands and glove with business and go to that length to get the substantiated success case studies as well. And I'm talking of technology-led initiative, because there are enough things what a CTO or a CIO or CTO would be doing in the organization for business continuity, which is very much appreciated and acknowledged as well. Specifically talking of is from the new tech-led things. The second part which I feel is more than anything, it's a servant leadership, what I feel, helping others achieve their targets, goals, and facilitating whatever is needed, because it's a very cross-functional, domain-oriented role in the tech. There is no individual brilliance, or there is nothing called departmental things. It's all cross-functional, and in many of their cases, you have to lead the teams which are cross-functional, where you do not have the rights of delegation, authorities, and all. It's a cross-functional initiative. So servant leadership in those things helps, and the mindset of the fact that I am not the leader, but I'm here to facilitate these things, because like use this very often, that the CTO or CIO and all this is like a Ravan who has 10 heads. One head is of security, the other one is of product development, third head is of ERP, and the other could be R&D and all these things. For a human to be a Ravan, it's a very difficult task. So at best, what you can do is facilitate these 10 different mindsets and be that catalyst for the growth. So I feel this is what could be the changing thing in times to come, and we are seeing this at now as well.
Absolutely, and that's a very interesting analogy, Nitin. Thank you so much for the insights and sharing some use cases as well. Thank you so much for leading this conversation with me, and well, it has been very insightful. Thank you once again for joining us. While we wrap up, I most certainly look forward to connect with you again.
Thank you so much. My pleasure, Simran. Best wishes. Thank you.
Thank you so much.